And I'm standing here, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor being strangled so hard I can't breathe. I'm trying to just gasp for air. And I still don't know why he was doing this, but he was putting his mouth over my nose and my mouth and blowing real hard. And he kept saying, die, die. Why won't you die? I had got to that point. I lost consciousness. When I finally woke up and he let me up, he comes over with a giant hammer that he had. It was like a construction hammer of some sort. I don't know what they call it. And he holds it up to my head right here and he tells me he's about to split my skull open.
Wait a minute, Bella. You're 15. He's 18. He goes to jail for a night. He's back and he's on quote unquote probation. You get married a couple of weeks later. So as soon as you have the baby, is he like just off the handle with abuse at that point? Like how do we get 3 months into a shotgun?
Because I wouldn't have sex with him. The night that he threw me in the closet and told me to call my dad and tell him I loved him and he had a shotgun. I couldn't even remember my dad's number. I was so scared. But I actually managed to grab my child and just run out of the house after he went to the restroom. And after I did that, my parents believed me. They believed everything that was going on. They saw all the bruises and everything.
What's up, beautiful people? It's your favorite light, M Boogie in this thing. Welcome to another episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast, where we are shining light on the darkness that is domestic violence and abuse. Listen, if you've never been here before, welcome to the show. We got 3 simple goals: to educate, empower, and encourage. We are here to educate anyone who has never been in an abusive relationship. We are here to empower all of our survivors to stand up and share your story without shame, fear, guilt, or judgment, because you are strong, you are powerful, and your voice deserves to be heard. And to anyone who is currently suffering in silence right now, we are here to encourage you to seek support. You are not alone. You are not crazy. Abuse is not normal. And despite how it may look and feel in this very moment, there is always a way out. So please make a plan, get some help, and get out of that situation. Now, y'all know what it is. We about to hop up on in this thing because we about to rise above these insecurities, release the burdens of shame and guilt, and revive our God-given power, purpose, and passion the Conf1dence Way. We about to light it up. Y'all, you already know what it's about. We have another amazing, beautiful, outstanding, wonderful person who has graced us with her presence and has given us the privilege to have this conversation about her experiences with abuse, growing up and living life, and how it has changed her and what she's learned from it, and hoping that we having these conversations will help us help other people who are either in that situation or preferably prevent them from being in that situation. But take a moment to welcome our newest guest to the show, Miss Bella. Pew, 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 pew.
Hello.
Bella, girl.
Bella.
I gotta say it. Bella, Ella,
Hey.
Who is this? How are you doing, girl?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm blessed.
Amen. Amen. Aren't we? You know, my favorite thing is to say it's a great day to be alive, because even when we're having bad moments in a day, or consecutive bad moments, or a bad season, at the end of the day, we can't always feel positive because things aren't always positive. But the truth is, it is always a great day, regardless of what we're going through, to be alive.
That's
so
right.
that's my thoughts to make it through every single day. If anything happens, I'm still here. I still get an opportunity to experience the world and allow the world to experience me. So thank you, girl, so much for this.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Child, listen, it's our privilege. It is our So we got to just hop on in here, because clearly you've been in an abusive relationship before. Did you see anything growing up, like abusive wise, with your family or maybe the neighbors or anything that you can recall?
I did. My parents had a on again, off again relationship. So they literally married each other twice. So
Wow.
yeah, and there was never a lot of physical violence between them, but there was a lot of emotional, and there was drug use and that sort of thing in the house. So I think that helped to mold me to not look for the necessarily right kind of man. That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you feel like you looked up to your dad growing up, or did you kind of
Oh
see?
yeah. Yeah, I was a daddy's little girl. So everything he did was, he couldn't do wrong, but it was like I knew it was wrong what I was seeing him do, with my mom, but I still wouldn't face it that it was wrong.
Mm.
I think I was too young.
How would you describe, like, so you're saying that they weren't physically violent towards each other, but you did see the emotional abuse. How would you describe that for anyone who doesn't understand what emotional abuse is?
Um,
Experience.
name calling, just telling her she was worthless or she needed to get a better job or um she never really could do anything right for him. And it it just wore her down, and then she eventually, and I hate to put that as the reason, but she eventually got on drugs, and I don't know if that was because she was just trying to escape the pain or what it was, but she after they divorced the second time, she got clean. So seeing her healed before she passed actually done a lot for me too.
Wow. Gosh, bless her heart. So,
Yeah.
so they got married, then they got divorced, and they got remarried. Was your dad
Hmm.
on drugs, or was it just your mom, and then she cleaned up?
He never admitted it, but I'm pretty sure he did.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. So taking that, what you saw, I mean, because it's hard when you have your dad in the house and he's an active dad and he feels like a good father. It's hard to separate his good father actions from his grown man character
Right.
and accepts the fact that he can be a good dad and still be a bad spouse.
Right. Exactly.
So knowing that, or at least having some kind of comprehension about him not being the best spouse or what he was doing to your mom was wrong, how
Hmm.
do you feel like that molded you in terms of what you would look for in a man after you got to the point where it was time for you, like when you first started dating and things like that?
I think it molded me to believe that it was okay for a man to talk to me that way. Um, because the very first relationship I got in, I ignored red flags. Back then, I didn't know what a red flag was. It was, you know, they put you down or say, your legs are too chunky or you don't talk proper enough or you do this or you do that wrong constantly. And instead of defending myself, I would try to change myself to be what they wanted me to be.
How old were you when you got in your first relationship?
I was 15 and I had my child at 16.
Okay. Isn't it funny? It's so funny because I can completely relate to the feeling like you can never be good enough, the
Hmm.
comments that are sideways, but you're supposed to kind of just let them roll off because it's either a joke or
Right.
they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is digging and constantly trying to tear you down. But it's so
Yeah.
funny to me that they can constantly pick and criticize specifically about our physical appearance or what we're doing or what we look like and what we're shaped like. But then you
Hmm.
have sex with somebody, then you
Yeah.
still expect me to be attracted to you after you've torn me down and trying to make
Right.
me feel worse about myself. I'm supposed to be physically attractive to you enough to be aroused to want to have sex with somebody who's constantly degrading me.
Exactly. I
Like,
think I've had that exact conversation with my ex.
it's like, make it make sense. Like, if you
Right.
feel this way, why are we doing this?
Right.
Okay, so you're 15, so you get in your first abusive relationship when you're 15. Was he kind of like a mirror of your father and just emotionally abusive, or did his move past emotional abuse to physical?
His was physical. He was a monster. He
Really?
yeah, he put me through a lot of hell, but he one time he had locked me in a closet and gave me the telephone and told me to call my dad and tell him that I loved him because I was gonna die. And he had a
At
shotgun.
15?
Yeah. While I was
Wait, wait,
16,
wait, wait,
I had
wait,
no son.
wait. How old was he?
He was 18.
So he lived in his own place.
We got married because I kind of felt like I was pressured into getting married. It was kind of a religious thing in my family, oddly enough, with all the drug addicts. But um, I was getting pushed because I was pregnant and 15.
You're getting
So
by your
I did
family
what
or by
everybody, yeah, by everybody. Even our school was ugly to me. They would make me sit in a different room because I was pregnant. You know, they
are you
didn't want me
serious?
to. That's serious. So, yeah, it's like everybody was trying to hide me. So I had a really low self esteem. So, yeah, between the school and then I got in this really bad relationship with him, and um, he would he would just do random things. But again, I think he was on drugs too. But I never witnessed it. Well, I'll take that back. One time I did. I had found some marijuana somewhere, and I put it in the toilet, and he stuck my face in the toilet. So,
Okay, hold
yeah,
up. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I didn't tell y'all to buckle up. I didn't tell you to put your arms, legs, and
I'm so
everything back
sorry.
in the vehicle. I didn't tell you to put your helmet on. Listen, that was my bad. Fair warning. I didn't give you the information you needed, but please buckle up because my lord, this is about to be a bumpy ride. You hear me? Wait a
Hmm.
second. I gotta digest all of this. We gotta slow down. You're 50, you meet him when you're 15.
Yes,
He's 18 when you meet him.
he's my neighbor, actually. Yeah.
He's your neighbor. Okay,
Hmm.
do parents know that y'all are dating before you get pregnant?
Yes, my mother encouraged it because I really didn't like him, and she just kept pushing me towards him.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay. Wait. Before I even let my brain go that way, how did he present himself to the neighborhood?
He was kind of a loner. He never really went out and did a lot. He stayed indoors. He was a big time mommy's boy, so it was like everything he did included his mom.
So
Um,
when he was living next to you at 18, was he still living with his mom?
yes.
Okay. Did he seem like a good guy to your mom? Like,
Honestly, I think he was helping supply her with some of her habits, so I think that was her motivation.
Bella, don't tell me that.
Yeah,
Don't tell me that.
sure. I mean, I hate to say that about my mom because she's dead and gone now, and we got past that before she died, but it's the truth. I was a very young girl and I didn't have anybody protecting me.
15. And your mom was like, hey, you need to talk to homeboy over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I think he would really be good for you. Give him a chance. Mm-mm.
So you weren't even interested in him, but you kind
Oh
of,
no,
oh my gosh. 15 is, first of all, is really young to be trying to push somebody into a relationship. Secondly,
right,
somebody into a relationship who's 18. Oh, third, to push somebody who's in a relationship who's 18 and you're not even attracted to mom.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Took a lot of counseling on that one, girl.
Oh my gosh. The setup. Okay. So y'all get into a relationship, and how many months into the relationship before you're pregnant?
Um, Pretty much immediately.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you feel like the first time y'all had sex was consensual, or you felt like you were pressured into?
It wasn't.
Do you feel like, do you believe because it wasn't consensual, was it like an aggressive type of a rape, or was it just more of a submissive type of rape?
It was more of a drug me and do what he wanted to do.
Stop.
I ended, I ended up in the emergency room with a lethal dose of PCP in me. And oddly enough, what I remember about that, because I don't remember much, I was in and out of consciousness, but he had a television playing with cartoons on it. And to this day, I can't watch Bugs Bunny because of that. But it's like there's just one certain scene in that where the cowboy in that, I can't even think of his name. He says, "See you later, alligator," or something like that, and Bugs Bunny says, "After a while, crocodile," and I just cannot stand hearing it.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's crazy, isn't it? But that doesn't define who I am. I've got, God gave me a blessing out of that. He gave me a little boy that became my life. So, um, I could look at it one of two ways. I could feel sorry for myself, or I could look at it as the blessing that it was. And I ended up having to have a hysterectomy when I was 23. So it was like God was saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you this now, because you won't be able to have it later." So that's my baby,
So you're 15.
15.
Immediately, you're with your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all even say, like, hey, we're in a committed relationship? Or was it kind of one of those we just merged into companionship type thing?
It was emerging. I was taking it more of a hanging out as friends, and I think he was taking it more serious.
Okay. Then he drugs you and rapes you.
He drugged me and raped me.
Did he take you, like, who took you to the hospital?
I don't know that. All I know is I woke up in the hospital.
So you wake up in the hospital with a lethal dose of
Hmm.
PCP.
Hmm.
How long do you stay at the hospital?
I was there overnight. The police came that night and questioned both of us and realized that I didn't even know what I had taken. And they sealed the records or something. The hospital said they sealed them so that the DA could prosecute or something. I don't know, but they never really charged him with anything but statutory rape. So back in
Wait.
that day.
Okay. You make it back home.
Hmm.
The police come. I'm assuming the hospital calls the police.
Hmm.
They show up. They
Yes.
interview both of you separately.
Hmm.
You tell them, I don't know what happened, but according to the hospital, I was drugged and raped.
Well, at that time, I didn't even know I was drugged. I told him something's not right. Everything looks different to me. I can't think straight. And then that's when they decided to tell me what was in my system. And they was like, "Do you remember eating anything or drinking anything?" And the only thing I could remember is back then, I don't even know if they still make these, but they were called chocolate soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
like little Yoo-hoo drinks or whatever. And I remember drinking one of those, but that's all I remember doing. So I don't know if he put it in there, if that's possible. I don't know. But yeah, that's how it got in my system, obviously. I don't know. He ended up getting pretty much probation. He didn't get much for it.
So the police, do they take him away that night?
Hmm. They did.
And then did you go back home?
Yes.
And y'all are still literally next door to each other, anyways.
Still next door to one another. Yes.
So what do your parents say when you come back home and the police were at the house over there?
um, I I told my parents that it was consensual. I didn't tell them any different because I was so embarrassed, and I thought that my dad would kill me. I mean, I really did. I thought I was going to be in serious trouble because I had sex, So it was like my dad was a Navy man, so it was very strict, and well, up until the drugs started. But yeah, it was a difficult situation all the way around. So at that age, I didn't have the mental capacity to make the decisions I was having to make. I see that now, of course, being 51 years old, but then I was just a lost child with a child.
You were 15.
Mhm.
drugged, raped, sent back home. He gets
Mhm.
probation.
He gets probation, 10 months.
They arrest him. They take him. He just goes over the night. The next day, he's back home.
Overnight. Mhm.
Where was his mom?
Still next door. She she defended him with everything she had. She even tried to take my kid.
Hold up. So he drugs and rapes you while his mom is home?
Oh, we wouldn't at his mom's house. He took me to a hotel where he raped me at. It was a one of those, I call them a flea bag hotels, because I don't even remember getting there. I remember drinking the chocolate drink, and we was watching cartoons. That's all I remember. And then I wake up in the hospital.
You come back home. You get dropped off at home. He spends the night in jail. He's back the next day. How
Hmm.
does that, how do we, he gets 10 months probation. What does that even mean? What is 10 months probation for someone who's statutory rape?
Right. Back then they didn't call it date rape like they do now, and I don't think they took it as serious. Um, I felt like I was failed in a lot of ways, because they just saw a 15-year-old girl that they assumed, and excuse my language, was just being a whore and doing drugs, and didn't really take me serious. That's the way I felt. And I was so upset with that whole city. When I did get away from him, I moved as far away as I could.
So once he comes back home,
Hmm.
are y'all still like, because you told your parents that it was consensual, are y'all still interacting as a couple?
Not at first, until I realized I was pregnant. I realized I was pregnant about 6 weeks in, and because I hadn't had a period, and I went and told my mom that I needed to go get a test done, and she took me to the health department, and they told me I was pregnant and that my due date was May the 2nd. And then the hard part came of telling my dad, um, because I just knew he was probably gonna murder me. But he didn't. But he and my aunts and my mom and everybody was saying, well, you laid down and got pregnant. Now you got to do the right thing and get married. And that was the worst decision I ever got talked into.
Did homeboy even want to get married?
Oh yeah, he did.
He did.
Hmm. I was
Y'all
his
just
little toy
house.
then. He owned me.
Say that again.
Mm. I said I was like his little toy then. He owned me.
Yep. So y'all get married before you have the baby.
Hmm.
How soon after you find out you're pregnant and you tell him do y'all get married?
Within weeks. I don't honestly. I can't remember our wedding date. It was weeks.
And
Literally, my son was born in April.
so you find out you're pregnant, you tell
Hmm.
him, y'all get married, you move in with him and his mom.
No, we move into a trailer that's in the same vicinity of where our parents lived.
Okay, so y'all move into your own trailer.
Hmm.
How soon after you move in did the abuse physical start? I mean, it's such a short time frame. Did it start after you
Hmm.
got pregnant, or did it start like before y'all got married and moved in together, or did it start
He
after you moved in together?
he actually was decent throughout the pregnancy, except for one time I had a water bed and he had knocked me down and I couldn't get up because I was so pregnant. So I had to get him to help me to get up, and he just kept letting me fall. So I just stayed there. I just stayed down beside the bed.
So we fast forward to April. Your
Hmm.
son born.
So my son's born. He never really, he didn't hold him. He wouldn't have anything to do with him. He just didn't exist. But to me, he was my world. That was mine. That was something nobody could ever take away from me. So I was going to protect him with everything I had. And the night that he threw me in the closet and told me to call my dad and tell him I loved him, and he had a shotgun. I couldn't even remember my dad's number. I was so scared. But I actually managed to grab my child and just run out of that house after he went to the restroom. And after I did that, my parents believed me. They believed everything that was going on. They saw all the bruises and um everything. We went through a divorce and a custody battle, oddly enough. Um, his mother tried to kidnap my child one time. It was a lot with him.
So before we get to the night where he's got a shotgun, how old is
Hmm.
your son at this time?
He was about 3 months old.
Wait a minute, Bella. This time frame is bananas.
Yeah.
You're 15. He's 18.
Hmm.
You get
Yeah.
pregnant. He drugs
I
and
turned
rapes.
16 while I was pregnant. Yeah.
You turn 16. He
Hmm.
goes to jail for a night. He's back and he's on quote unquote probation. You
Hmm.
you get married a couple of weeks later.
Hmm.
Y'all move into the trailer in the same vicinity as both of y'all's parents.
Correct.
Nothing truly physical happens except for the neglect and the abuse of the waterbed situation. You
Yeah.
have the baby. He doesn't really care anything about being a father.
Hmm.
And 3 months. So as soon as you have the baby, is he like just off the handle with abuse at that point? Like how do we get 3 months into a shotgun
Because I wouldn't have sex with him.
for the 3 months?
Yeah. Because I didn't want to get pregnant. I didn't want to get pregnant again. And I didn't want to, certainly didn't want to be near him. I
People
had a
don't
hatred.
think,
I'm
people don't understand, but like this is bananas. This is bananas. I
sorry.
completely understand. I understand because you have the baby and the doctor's already saying, hey, you need to wait at least 6 weeks before you,
Hmm.
like, it's like their brain doesn't comprehend the fact that the vagina just was, if you got ripped open, just ripped open, even if you didn't get ripped open, the fact
Right.
that your organs have been dislocated, like pushed all out the way. They're not sitting where they're
Exactly.
supposed to be. You're trying to breastfeed. You got all these hormones going. You just pushed a whole body out of your body, like you gave birth to another alien. And all they're thinking about is, I don't care how tired you are. I don't care if the baby gets fed. I need some of you.
You're right.
I don't comprehend it. And it's
I
like,
don't either.
you already aren't attracted to me. I am in no shape or form any kind of remotely like, why even so so it's bananas. That's bananas in and of itself, because it's crazy. Like, I had the experience of not wanting to have sex. I had the experience of trying to like make you understand. The doctor clearly said 6 weeks. Like, I'm not healed. My
Right.
body's physically not ready to receive your body. Literally.
Exactly.
I don't have none of this is fun. You have I had hemorrhoids, like I had terrible like it was terrible. And I'm like, all you're thinking about is trying to get jumped off. And
Right.
I'm not attracted to you. I'm clearly not, because you don't know how to treat me and you're showing me that you don't care about my
Hmm.
body. It's just a vessel for you to use as you
Yeah.
need to use it.
Yeah. I was literally his property. He called me that. After we got married, I was his property, and I was to do what he wanted me to do.
I had someone ask me one time, like, because people, I have a boy who's 5 and I have twin girls who are 4. So they're 16 months apart. Like, we ain't even like a year and 4 months apart is what they are. And so people joke
Right.
around and they're like, oh, y'all, just back to back didn't wait. It's like, I didn't plan this. I love my man,
Right.
but that was not my choice that day.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't, people don't understand. So someone's like, well, if you're not attracted to someone, if you don't like the person that you're with, and I was married too, it's like, why do you keep having sex with them? Well, when the person is abusive, the word no is not an option. It's an option at the risk of your health, at the risk of your
That's
life,
right.
at the risk of your safety.
Because if you say no, it's going to be hell.
And I had to, like, I just wanted to sit on this for a minute, because I don't know. I could probably count on my hands the number of times that I was able to get away with not tonight, or just, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a lot. And people don't understand, they, even if they don't verbally say you're my property, that's exactly how they look at you. And it's like, when I need you to do something for me, I expect you to say yes and get it done.
Yep. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
So here you are 3 months in, trying to you're 16. I could not imagine. I was 30 something when this happened to me. You're 16. You're still a baby. Trying to tell someone no, I don't want to have sex. My body is not, I can't even imagine how long it really takes, a 15, 16-year-old body to recover from that, because it's so small, it's so young, it's so new, and then that being your first experience, like, it's so much.
Yeah.
And you end up being thrown in a closet with a phone and a shotgun saying, call your dad because tonight you're going to die.
Yeah. Call your dad, tell him you love him because you're going to die tonight. Because he knew me and my dad were close.
All of this because you would not have sex with him.
Correct.
Now, I do want to know, did you have sex? So the first time he had sex with you, you were drugged and raped. Did you ever have consensual sex with him, or have sex with him after that time? Or was it from conception to 3 months, no sex?
I guess you could call it consensual, but it was like I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway just to keep peace and keep from getting hurt. So even though you're laying there doing it, it's still like being raped because you're not in it. It's like it's
It's
not
still not.
healthy.
And people need to know that just because there's so many stories out there about abusive relationships, and people are like, well, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's like, no, it ain't. It sounds good,
Not like that.
but it's not like that. And just because
No.
I am doing it doesn't mean that I want to. I don't want to be
Right.
here right now laying down,
Right.
taking this from you. I don't. So no, it wasn't consensual. It was just going along to get along for the sake of your safety.
Right.
That's wild. So he goes to the bathroom. You grab your 3-month-old at the age of 16, and you run to your dad's house, your mom and dad.
Take off running.
You get there. They see what's happening. They receive you lovingly.
Yes, they did. They took me back in. They were like very apologetic and everything at that point because they didn't realize how bad it was. And of course, I was really good at hiding things too. I always felt like everything was my fault and I couldn't do anything right.
Yeah.
So I was always trying to be the perfect daughter and I couldn't.
So once you get there that night, it's okay. It's okay. So you get home that night. Do y'all call the police?
No,
Do you remember why you didn't call the police?
because I was scared. I figured he would come and shoot me with that shotgun.
Is it because of the experience that you've already had when the police showed up and all that was It wasn't even a slap on the wrist. It was just like, hey, let me come clip your fingernails real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I couldn't even trust the police. I mean, they failed me. They
Okay.
failed me so many times.
Okay. I figured that's what it was, but we had to say it because people are going to be
Yeah.
like, well, you didn't even call the police.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you, this is why
Oh,
we have
sorry.
conversations. Like, people don't understand the threat that you're only making them angrier and they're not
Mm-hmm.
going away. Like, it's not like I'm going to call the police and be guaranteed that you're going to arrest him and
Right.
charge him with something and keep him in jail for an extended period
Mm-hmm.
of time.
Right. And those restraining orders, the piece of paper they give you, don't
Nothing.
it don't protect you. I'm sorry, but it don't.
It does not. So y'all don't call the police. You try to,
Mm-mm.
you're healing, you're raising your son, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to court for the divorce, and now he's in court fighting for custody over a child that he didn't even want to take care of.
Correct.
All for the sake of making your life harder and trying to control something.
Make my life hell. Um, and excuse my language, but what stopped all of it is he went in front of a judge, and his exact words when he found out he would have to pay child support. His exact words were, "If I have to pay to see the little, I don't want anything to do with him." And the judge looked at me and she said, "Is it okay if I sign his rights away?" And I said, "Would you please?" And he's never had rights to my son.
They will literally use anything or anyone to
Hmm.
maintain a certain level of control over
Oh,
a
yeah.
human being.
So the last time he saw my son, he was 13 months old. That's how long it took me to fight him and everything to get all of it done and get him out of our lives. And then I moved from that town I was in to Decatur, and I've been here ever since.
At 17,
Hmm.
did your parents
That's
move with you?
nope.
You left home a
I was
single mom at 17?
yes, I was working two jobs and going to school. Um, I managed to get 2 degrees and raise my baby. That was my sole purpose in life, is just be his mom. And he's turned out to be an amazing human being, and I'm so proud of him. If you can't tell, that's my world.
Romans 8:28 says that all things work together for the good. So, like you were saying earlier, even though your son was born from a horrific situation, God is able to put his hand on things and situations in people's lives and change mistakes, bad decisions, or just sheer trauma that wasn't our fault into something beautiful and amazing, which God is amazing for that.
Absolutely. I give all the glory to him for that.
17. So you're living by yourself.
Yes, I was living by myself. We had an apartment kind of over on the bad side of town, and we just made it work. We had to, do what you do, and built myself back up. But then I managed to get myself in another bad situation with a man that he didn't he didn't rape me per se like this one did, but he was so violent, and that's the one I had to heal from this last time. I've literally been single now for 6 years because of him. But yeah, that's a whole nother story.
So when you were 17, working two jobs, going to school, raising a baby by yourself, did
Hmm.
before the second homeboy, did you get into any other relationships or had you tried? And they were
Yeah, I
healthy
did.
as they were.
Some were. I was kind of more focused on being my son's mom, but it was like the guys that I would find were all the same. It was like not necessarily abusive, but uh, cheaters or just general liars, just not good people, And I just gave up on that until I met this last one, and then turns out he was much the same. So I
How
guess
old were you when you met him?
I was, let's see, I'm 51 now. I've been away from him for 6 years. So I would have been 35, 36.
Bella.
Mm-hmm.
You went almost 20 years after your first abusive relationship to getting involved with other people who you find out are toxic, and at least you didn't, like, at least you were able to make good decisions with that. Then you meet this guy. What was it about him that attracted and drew you to him? 20 years. So your son has graduated high school by the time you've gotten into
Yeah.
this relationship.
Yeah. My son was already grown. Thank God he didn't ever have to go through any of that. Um, yeah, I met this guy. I was working as a manager at a truck stop, and he was a truck driver, and he something about I was the biggest man hater there was. I mean, no guy could ever get my number or anything, so it's still shocking to me. But I don't remember what he actually said. It was something about something he was looking for, and then I turned around and he said, "I didn't see a ring on your finger," and I said, "Well, it's because I don't have one." And we stood there and talked for like 3 hours. And then he called me and we talked all night. And I thought, well, this is a nice guy. And he was a fairly decent looking guy. So I thought, why not? I'll give him a try. Turned out to be a very bad mistake.
So,
Um,
so how long of the getting to know you phase were y'all in before y'all got into a relationship, and was he abusive before y'all got into a committed relationship, or did you see any signs looking back on it now?
Hindsight is 2020. Those red flags that I ignored, I see them now, but I didn't pay attention then.
So what were some
Um,
flags?
Um, just the constant nagging at you and putting you down. And he would always disguise things as jokes, and I hate that worse than anything. But he'd be like, "Your is getting a little big, don't you think? Ha ha ha." Or I don't know. It's just the way it would come across from him. He was able to make it sound like a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Um, and then he was just very good at manipulation, very good at it. Because I mean, he could talk me into anything, and he knew it. Um, he talked me into going on trips with him. I said he was a truck driver. Um, and I did that, and he ended up keeping me in that truck for a solid year. Um, that's why I was having trouble getting away from him. When you're out of state and you don't know anybody, it's hard. And my family had pretty much given up on me. They hated him. They knew he was abusive.
Okay, wait.
Um,
Before we go on the year-long tour, so you're dating, he seemed like a nice guy. He started nitpicking at certain things. Like, how long into the relationship were y'all before he flipped the coin all the way over and started showing you the abusive side?
now, looking back, I know that was just a couple of months in. If you would have asked me that then, I probably would have told you, oh, that was nothing. I excused it. So the
So,
first time he hit me, I think we'd been together 6 months.
do you remember
But
why he hit you?
hmm yeah, we were moving from one house to the other, and I had made some kind of comment about his hat being on backwards. I was like, "You look like a high schooler," and he just turned around and backhanded me. And I was like, "Why did you do that?" And I started screaming, and he was like, "You don't talk to me that way." Okay, I was playing. Okay. So I excused that. I thought, well, maybe I just offended him. Whatever. Maybe he didn't mean to hit me that hard. Um, and then I'm very open about my mistakes as well. So he started introducing drugs to me, and I unfortunately used them. And I think that's what made me hold on a little bit, is because he was supplying my drugs. And that's hard to admit, by the way. But after, I was never really what I would say addicted to them. I didn't have to like go hunt for them or nothing, but he had a major problem. He would crush pills up and snort them up his nose. And he got me to do it, and then I got addicted to doing it that way, and I said, no, I can't do this. I'm not going to go down the same path my mom went down. I'm not going to do it. And I backed off of the drugs. He did not, and his violence just got extreme. There's not a state in the United States I don't think I've been choked in. There's not a time that I don't remember not having a bruise when I was with him, and I was with him for 8 years. And again, I tell that not because I want people to feel sorry for me. I tell people that because I want people to understand that if they're in a relationship like that, and if I was trapped in a truck and I got away, honey, I can help you get away too. You know, it's like we got to put a plan together. We got to figure this out. You know, it's like I just want to help people, and some of my friends call it pink clouding. My therapist has referred to that you just want to help people after abuse, and I was like, no, I think it's more of a calling. You know, it's like God's leading the way here. I'm letting Him lead the way.
Yeah. Did you know he was taking drugs before he introduced them to you?
Yes.
Did you know when you met him he was taking drugs?
No.
Okay, so we fast forward. You said it was like 6 months into the relationship, the first time that he hit you. Did you know he was taking drugs then?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
So
Matter of
what
fact, I was
was it?
probably on drugs that day myself. Be honest.
What was it, do you think, that kept? So before that first incident, then you'd seen him taking drugs and you had already started.
Yeah, I participated. It was like if I couldn't beat him, I'd join him. Might as well, you know. And I was one of those people that thought I never could put anything up my nose, and he had me snorting up Roxy's. So yeah.
Wow.
hmm So again, I tell my mistakes, and people throw stones at me for it, but you know, I still don't think that excuses abuse.
Nothing excuses abuse. This is the crazy thing about it. Nothing
I'm
excuses
sorry.
abuse. Nothing. And
Mm-mm.
the world is, I'm just going to say, brainwashed into to constantly going after the woman. Well, why did you stay? Well, why did you do this? No, why did he hit her? Why did he think that was okay? Why
Right.
did he stay? Why did he keep doing this? And it's always to make the person who was abused feel bad for the decisions that they made, and not to hold the person who made the decision that harmed physically, emotionally, financially, whatever, that person. You don't ever hold them accountable. Oh,
Exactly.
well, she was
You
on drugs.
completely understand where I'm coming from. You completely get it.
Yes. They're never held accountable, and then we're left here blaming ourselves and sitting here saying, I take responsibility for my role in it. I know that I shouldn't have done this. And it doesn't matter what you did, unless you physically attacked somebody and they're coming back at you. There's absolutely no reason. I don't care if you're on drugs. I don't care if you said something that offended him. I don't care if you used the wrong tone, or you disrespected, or if he felt disrespected, because there's so many times when you can say something and they feel disrespected, and you weren't even trying to be disrespectful. You just gave a prime example. I was joking. You can joke about my body image all you want to and dig on me and make me feel bad on purpose. I can joke with you and not
Mhm.
know that I'm offending you, or not know that what I said makes you feel bad, and you automatically fly off the handle.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was like, he didn't, homeboy over here didn't really have friends. So I became that all inclusive. Everything had to be together, but like even like taking showers. And after after trying to help raise his kids and having my kids, like I just want, can I at least have the shower to myself? Can I at least have that?
Right.
And so there are times where he would want to take a shower together. And I'm like, I can't say I don't want to do it because I don't want to ruffle feathers. And if we're having a good phase in this relationship at this time, I don't want to flip the script on it. So we're in the shower one day. All things is fine. I don't even know what I say. I have no idea what I said to this day. But whatever it was, and we were like you, just having a conversation. It wasn't anything bad. I thought we were all on good terms. I said something and he pees on me.
Oh my God.
Then he gets out the shower. And all throughout our relationship, he would constantly tell me that I don't know how to communicate. I am bad at communicating. But when something upset him, instead of verbally saying, hey, I didn't like that you said this, he would do something to let me know that he didn't like that I said something to him. And I couldn't even, I didn't even know that I was saying anything to offend you.
Right.
And so I'm just like, you're a grown man intentionally peeing on your wife because she says something that you took offense to and you didn't let her know that that was offensive to you.
Right.
And you get out of the shower when she didn't even want to take a shower with you in the first place.
But yet it was your fault because you couldn't communicate. Right.
But I'm not a good communicator.
Right. So that's what they do.
So I like to sit in these moments because it is, like you said, like friends and family or people who don't know you, when they hear you saying certain things, it's like, I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't need your sympathy. I've endured and I'm on the other side. And now I'm here to shine light and help other people understand. I don't need your pity or anything. I'm not clearly talking to you. This message isn't even for you to come at me. But I want to sit in these moments because the world sees that and it's like, well, you said something. You had to have said something. And I'm going to say that I've been guilty of it before I experienced abuse myself. I would be guilty of it because I would hear stories on the news. And it wasn't even like a blaming the woman for it. I was just curious. I'm like, dang, I wonder what. I can remember when the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation came out, not blaming her for it, but I'm like, what the heck did she say? To make somebody, because even in the experience that I had, I'm like, what did I really do to make you feel that this was okay? Why did what I just say? Like, so much stuff has happened. And I learned really quickly that there wasn't room in this relationship for me to say or do things back because it would just be worse for me.
Right.
So I started to try to walk away. And that's when I'm not going to let you walk away stuff happens.
Yep.
I want to sleep in a different room. I'm not going to let you sleep. I'm like, we're clearly not on good terms right now. You don't even like me right now, but you don't like me so much that you're not even going to let me sleep in a separate room because they like the tension and they want the excuse to express their aggression. They want that excuse.
Yeah,
and when I stopped giving it, when I would try my best not to give it, then it's like, I'm going to follow you until I can make you snap just enough for me to do what I really want to do to you. And then say, I felt threatened.
Yep.
You told this.
I can tell.
How old was he? How old was this guy who
He was 5 years younger than me. So he's
30, like he's 30 something, like 30.
Yeah.
You said 35 when y'all met, right?
Yeah. So he would have been 30, 31, somewhere in there.
You told him that wearing his hat backwards made him look like a high schooler.
Yeah, I was like, makes you look silly, makes you look like a high schooler. And I get popped in the mouth.
And said, talk to me like that. So when he did that, I'm imagining that you were shocked, you were stunned. It's like you said, oh, I don't think that he's abusive. This was just, maybe it was the drugs. And even when it's not the drugs, we still make an excuse for it. And I want to do that because people, men or women, need to understand a person is showing you who they are, believe who they're showing you they are. That wasn't a mistake. It doesn't matter how many babies, I'm sorry, how many fake tears they can draw up in the moment. That was not a mistake. That was an intentional, conscious decision to do something to you physically, to harm you intentionally.
Absolutely.
And if you take that one and let it be a mistake, it's going to continue with more mistakes. I'm sorry, I'm babies. It's not going to happen again. It's always going to happen again until you get out.
And it's just going to get worse.
And it's just going to get worse. So you're 35, he's 30, he hits you the first time, you make the mistake, and then you excuse it because of the state that you were in with the drugs, saying, well, I didn't make the best decisions either. And we do that, y'all. Right. You're doing it now. Whoever needs to hear this, you're doing it now. It is not your fault. It's not your fault. They made that decision.
That's right.
So you stay with him.
I stay with him. I tried to leave him probably 10 times. And every time I would try to leave, that's when I'd get my butt kicked. I mean, he'd get me good. And another time that police failed me, I had called them one day. He was chasing me around my car, and I was trying to get away from him. And I called the police, and long story short, I ended up going to jail for trespassing from my own home.
What? Stop. Bella.
Yeah, never been to jail a day in my life. They take me to jail because he was able to manipulate that cop.
Bella.
I'm dead serious.
You're being chased. You call the police because you're feeling that your life is in danger. The police show up. How does that conversation go?
Well, I also have to divulge some information. He's related to half of the police force in this particular city. And his ex-girlfriend is the administrator of the jail. So it's like, even if I got stopped over there, I don't even go to there because they will stop me. They're that corrupt. They really are. Maybe it's changed now. I don't know, but I'll never go back to that county.
So someone shows up for your call. Do they even address you, or do they talk to him directly?
They talk to him first instead of me. And here I am, bruised up and crying and screaming. And he's standing there telling them that I done this and I done that and I'm on drugs and da-da-da-da-da. He don't do anything wrong. Next thing I know, I'm being told to put my hands behind my back, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, why? This is my house.
And what do they say?
They got me for criminal trespassing. So when I went to court with this, the DA looked at me and was like, what's going on here? I was like, that's what I want to know, because I don't know, how is it possible to be trespassed from your own home? So he just walked up and told the judge, we're going to dismiss it. And I'm like, so that's it? You don't tell this cop he did something wrong, is that it? But yeah.
How long were you in jail?
Just a couple of hours. He came and got me from jail, but still, it was just the point that I
Who
went.
Got you from jail?
The abuser. Our homeboy. Yes, ma'am.
I just need people to see how sick-minded these people are.
Yeah. He knew he had total control, and there was nothing I could do about it. There was nothing I could do about it.
He got you put in jail. And then a couple of hours he comes and he gets you out like he's the superhero.
Yep. At love bombing.
Picks you up and you go back with him.
Go back with him.
How's
Things
temperament?
are okay for a little bit after that until they weren't. I had stopped using drugs by that point, but we had moved to a different place. And of course, he hadn't stopped doing drugs. And this was pretty much my final straw. Um, I had come home from work and he had gotten up to tell me that he had to get up at a certain time or something, make sure he got up. And I was like, okay, whatever. He goes over and he opens the cabinet door and he says, "You took my Roxy." I said, "What?" He said, "You took my Roxy." I said, "No, honey, I hadn't took nothing. I just got here. And I don't do that anymore." Well, he ends up looking up there and he finds a half of one. So apparently he had done half of it or something earlier, but he's still accusing me of it. And I'm standing here, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor being strangled so hard I can't breathe. I'm trying to just gasp for air. And I still don't know why he was doing this, but he was putting his mouth over my nose and my mouth and blowing real hard. And he kept saying, "Die, die. Why won't you die?" And I, this is embarrassing, but I pissed myself. I had got to that point. I lost consciousness. When I finally woke up and he let me up, he comes over with a giant hammer that he had. It was like a construction hammer of some sort. I don't know what they call it. And he holds it up to my head right here and he tells me he's about to split my skull open. Um, Another situation where I grabbed stuff and run. When I got my chance, I grabbed I had a little Yorkie at the time. I grabbed her and I took off out the door and I'm going and we lived out in a very rural area. And I'm going down through a field because I'm scared he's going to find me if I'm on the road because he's going up and down the road looking for me. So I make it down to a store, which was about 2 miles from our house, and they weren't open yet, but I could tell there was people inside. So I start banging on the door. They find me. I collapse. They call an ambulance. When I get to the hospital, I couldn't even talk. I had been choked so hard. Um, his cousin, who was a police officer, come to take the report, but he actually took it serious. I'll give him that. He said it was pretty dangerous what he had done to me. And they didn't arrest him until a month later. In that time, I had 560 text messages from him. And they went from, "I love you, I want you back, I'm so sorry," to, "You stupid whore, I hope you die." And it sometimes within minutes. And I was staying with my mom, and that's when she passed away. He decided to play hero like they do and come over and try to console me and be there for me while my mom was being buried and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe he's changing. No, he didn't. And the next time he choked me, I almost died.
Hang on, Bella. So you get away. You go to the hospital. The police report is filed.
Mm-hmm.
It takes them a month to actually arrest him. What did they arrest him on?
They got him for battery, menacing. I think no, it was assault, not battery, because they were putting felony charges on him and strangulation. That's what it was, because they said that was the toughest law in Alabama was strangulation. So they were going to try to push that hard and get him on felonies. And of course, we got back together in between that time after he got out of jail.
Hang
And
on.
he talked.
So it took a month for them to get to arrest him.
Mhm.
They arrest him. How long does he stay in jail?
2 days.
He has a felony and he's only in jail for 2 days. They charge him with a felony. He's
3
charged.
felonies.
He
3
has 3
felonies.
felonies on his record, and he's only in jail for 2 days.
2 days.
Do y'all hear how bass-ackwards this is? Like, I'm trying to say it slow because I want to make sure people are hearing this. This
Well, that's
man
why
has
when I tell people these police need education, honey, they need it. They need it so bad.
3 charged, y'all, not and convicted, right? Charged and convicted.
Well, he did not get convicted. That's what I was about to tell you because I stupidly went to court and said, "Oh, I lied about it all."
No.
But the DA said, "Honey, you couldn't have lied about these injuries." He said, "So he's still getting charges." But he dropped the felony, dropped him down to a misdemeanor, and he ended up having to pay like $2,500.
Bella. So he's in
Well,
jail for 3 days.
he was
Your
looking
mom,
at 10 years in prison if they had convicted him of it. And he just kept telling me that I'll go to prison. I'll go to prison for 10 years. If I go to prison for 10 years, you better hope you're dead by then because I'll kill your. I mean, it was constant, constant. Matter of fact, he got me to call. It's a domestic violence shelter that was helping me. He got me to call that shelter and talk to the lead investigator that I had been talking to while he sat there while it was on speakerphone. And I had nowhere to go. I was sitting in a semi truck. He got me to call them and say I wanted all this dropped. I wanted, nothing happened. Da 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 da. And the guy obviously picked up that I was being made to say stuff because he said, "Who else is listening to this conversation? Who's that whispering in the background?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I'm about to get the hell beat out of me because I'm not covering." So I told him, "Oh, it's my brother. It's my brother. He was telling me to say this and to say that. And it was just constant until he got out of those charges. I did finally get away from him, thanks. I had this amazing, I call her my homegirl. She had recorded a lot of things that she had seen and witnessed, and she had recordings of when I called her and left her a voicemail, and she could hear him screaming in the background about killing me. So she saved all those recordings for me, and she said, "Tomorrow I'm coming to get you. Have your stuff ready. When he goes to work, we're gone." And that's exactly what we did, and I never looked back.
thank you, home girl. Oh my gosh.
He was
Bella.
my savior.
Bella. Okay, we got to back it up for a second.
Sorry. A lot, I know.
He gets out of jail. How soon after he gets out of jail does your mom pass away?
It was within a week, maybe.
So when he gets out of jail, you're not communicating with him, but he finds out about your mom, and then he shows up to console you, blah, 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 blah. And then immediately after the funeral, like you think he's changed and y'all are back to do you move back in with him? Like what happens?
He's staying at my mom's apartment with me while I'm trying to get her stuff um situated.
Okay.
And we just acted like we had never been apart, I guess. And yeah, my stupidity. I kept going back.
It's
He would always
fun.
say his famous line was, "Well, I haven't hit you in a long time."
Ooh!
And my response to that was, "The fact that you ever hit me at all is the problem." You know, and he didn't think choking someone or strangling somebody was as bad as hitting them, I reckon. But I was like, "Dude, you're killing me. You're trying to kill me."
The audacity that they have to defend themselves in such a manner as to say that's so similar to something that homeboy on this side said. At least we're getting better. I'm like, just because it's different. I didn't even use the word abuse with him. I was just like, just because it's different doesn't mean it's better. Because
That's
he had
right.
the same. Oh my gosh. I hadn't done it in a while. I remember I didn't even want to go. Like, he planned something for my birthday. What do you want to do for your birthday? I said, honestly, I just want to go somewhere by myself. I don't want the kids. I don't want to be around anybody. I just want to go by myself. I ended up getting called a narcissist because I wanted to spend my birthday by myself. And just like you, I let him talk me into going to do something what I didn't want to do, which was, he's like, well, I already had plans for somebody to come keep the kids and we can go to Atlanta and just have a good time. So we go to Atlanta and I tell him, I'm like, I'm trying to have a good time, but it's really hard because all I can think about is when's the next time something's going to happen. No, baby, don't think about that right now. You just focus on us having a good time. It's not, like, they are manipulative, and we allow ourselves to be manipulated from because there's like this hope. Like, I know there's somebody good in there. I know that you're not pure evil, and I'm just holding on to hope and making stupid decisions. And I mean, sure enough, like the very next week, just as I called it, I find myself on the floor in the closet because I turned the light on, and he came home late, and I was disturbing his sleep because I turned the light on in the bathroom.
Wow.
But yeah, the audacity to say I haven't hit
At
you.
least I haven't hit you in a while.
Like, you deserve brownie points and a trophy.
Yeah. But, woo,
It's
um,
almost like they're saying you have no idea how many times I wanted to put my hands on you, but I didn't this time. Not yet.
he was just extremely good at, and I hate to give him any kind of credit. He was just so good at manipulation. He had me brainwashed. I
They all do.
mean, he did.
They all do.
I believed that I couldn't make it without him. I believed all the times he would say, "Nobody else will have you. Um, you're worthless," and all of it. I believed it. He made me believe it.
Yeah.
And but when I got away from him, I'm going to tell you that it was a spiritual awakening when I finally started healing.
Say it again, sis, for the people in the back.
Yes, because now, honey, let a man come at me. Promise you, it ain't gonna be like that.
It is not. Oh my gosh.
But,
Oh,
um,
oh my
but
gosh.
just like yourself, I see what you're doing. I don't even know how you found me, but um, I'm doing my TikTok for domestic violence awareness. But what I'm trying to do is get a registry created
Mm-hmm.
because I think it would be beneficial to be able to, just like the sexual abuse registries, um, to know who these people are if they've got violent convicted crimes. And what I would like to do, not necessarily put them in prison, the rest of their lives, which some of them deserve it. Um, I would like to at least have them on there. If they've done it 3 times, their name goes on the list. I don't care, man, woman, child. If you've been
One
abusive to
time.
somebody, put it on there.
One time. It only takes one time. But no,
That's
that
true.
is something that really needs to happen. And I know it's a state by state thing. Because I
I
want to
want
say
it to be a national thing.
I think Tennessee has, if I'm
Hmm.
not
And
recently got
Pennsylvania just started one.
who?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania did.
Hmm.
There was a I want to say Tennessee. I just don't remember what city it happened it in, but one of their police officers or county sheriffs, she was killed by her
Mm.
partner, and that triggered them to create. I have to go back and look it up to see exactly. I feel like it's Tennessee, but I could be wrong. But it triggered them to create that law. I think there's a law and a registry for it. But I
It's
agree
a
with you.
shame that it took that, though.
Right. And it had to be one of their own. Like all of the women and men, maybe, who have died at the hands of someone who said that they loved them. And it had to be somebody in your department for you to be like, okay, wait, this is just too serious now. We really need to do
Right.
something about this and it not be
And
a national thing.
the stories that I hear every day, and I know you do too, because you're out here doing this. The stories I hear every day, I'm just like, I'm astonished that there's not more being done. The laws are not strict enough, and police are not educated. I mean, it's just they're just letting all of us fall through the cracks like we're nothing.
Yep. But they have this big push on, and I'm not minimizing this in any way, shape, or form. They have this big push on sex trafficking,
Yes.
locally and foreign. But every single day, people are literally dying because they're in an abusive relationship and they finally make the decision to leave, or they've tried to call because they did try, and
Yeah.
just triggered the person to go ahead and show you exactly what they're capable of.
There
And
was just a case in Huntsville, I think two months ago, where the lady had called the police like 4 times that week, and he shot her. How was she protected? I don't, I don't understand.
and then the wild part about that is they're only going to get like 6 years because of crime of passion or something foolish like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Crime of passion lowers the amount of years they have to serve time for when they take someone else's life.
Yeah, that's it's sad. You and I are fortunate to still be here after what we went through. So I think, and I don't know how you believe it, I think God is using me to tell my story and try to make some changes. And I'm going to push it as hard as I can.
For sure. I wholeheartedly believe that too. I believe that God led me to doing this because even last year, I was I didn't want to share, because, the embarrassment, the shame, the guilt. And it's the embarrassment of how did you let yourself get in that situation? Why did you stay in that situation? And then when you try to give the explanations of why, it just makes it sound even more stupid. So you, like you said, you just can't do anything right. Even if I answer your question, you're going to look at me like I'm stupid. So let's just not even talk about it and just try to hide
Right.
and push it on the rug like it didn't happen. But at the end of the year, God was like, I need you to do something, so get it done. And that's why I started the podcast this year. And it's just been
I
overwhelming
love it.
with
I love it. I love that you're doing this. Thank you.
it couldn't happen without y'all. It couldn't happen without all of us collectively standing up, sharing our stories, being bold enough and courageous enough and confident enough to, yeah, we made mistakes. Yeah, we made
Sorry.
bad
I'm gonna
decisions,
go.
but all of our mistakes and bad decisions didn't warrant us to experience what we had to experience. And we're not going to let that person's side, like, even when you're still afraid to talk about it, you're still under their control, even if you've gotten away.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're absolutely still being abused after you leave. It's like your brain is just not the same.
It's not. It
It's
it
not.
takes it
I'm
takes
sorry.
therapy, it takes prayer, it takes time. Like, just like your body has to heal from the inside out, we have to heal from the inside out, mentally and emotionally, because when you've been in something
Mhm.
for however long you've been in it, and they've had the opportunity to manipulate and brainwash and play with you like that, your brain
Yes,
is still thinking on their pathway as opposed to God's pathway for you. And so you're making,
absolutely.
and still, I even did it. Like, the craziest thing I can remember, I wouldn't, he liked my nails to be painted, which, again, you've already said you're not attracted to me. So why do I gotta do things that you like when you don't even, you say you ain't attracted to me? So the white tips, do the white tips. No, don't wear red nail polish, wear pink. And I can remember being like, after I left, a year ago, gone by, or a year and a half, and my brain was still thinking, oh, put the pink nail polish on, don't put that color on, because not necessarily that I want to, it's not that I was trying
Hmm.
want to do anything for him. It was just that it was still that embedded. Like, I don't have to, I can wear my nails whatever color I want. My nails can be
That's
as
right.
vibrant as I want them to be. And it just takes time. Whoever is listening, like, it sucks,
It
especially when
does.
you're out and you still have that trauma bond and that crazy emotional attachment to someone is unhealthy for you, and you don't think you can do it. You can do it. It just takes time
Mhm.
for them,
It does.
your
And
brain.
that's one of
And
the
you
things
have,
I'm trying to show a lot of the ladies that I'm working with is that the ugly side of it. When you
yeah,
first get out, it's not easy. It's not. Um, and there's a lot of work that goes into fixing you. I have done 6 years of therapy, and I still go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. It's great.
No. Yes.
Um, and I do lean heavily on God, and I don't care if anybody believes in God or not. I do. He has gotten me through a lot, as y'all heard tonight. So it's like I'm gonna keep going where He's leading me, and I think He led you to me because you
Yes.
doing this is just amazing.
I absolutely believe that. I know he did. I know for a fact he did.
I know it did.
And I just thank you. Oh my goodness. Whew. Ella, girl.
Ella, hey.
Oh my goodness. Y'all.
So since I know where you live now and you know where I live, I can come take you to lunch.
Come on now. Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's all right.
Oh my gosh, Bella. I can't thank you enough for the work that you're doing. Before we go, tell everybody where they can find. I know you do a lot of your stuff on TikTok, so tell everybody how we can find you on TikTok and get in touch with you.
Okay. I go by Belly Button One, and it's spelled Bell, Belle, button with the number one. On there. But when we do our live chats, it's under Warriors X. I've got a gentleman that is out of Indiana that co-hosts with me, and he's been wonderful. He was actually abused by his first wife. So
Wow.
when I say a man can actually be abused as well, I firmly believe that. Um, we're working towards this registry, but most of all, I'm just like I said, I'm trying to show people that there it's not all fun and it's not all games when you get out, And so, like, I've got a lady that's in West Virginia right now. She has nobody. Her abuser moved her from Florida to West Virginia to get her away from her family. So I just want to be a friend. I want to be somebody she can reach out to that, when she does feel like crying or laughing or screaming or whatever, she's got that person. You've got all these numbers you can call for getting out, but you don't have a number to call for those nights when you don't know what you're feeling. And you don't have a number to call when you need a friend or there's nobody there to hug.
Right.
You know? So that's just, and every day I send her a message and she sends me one just because I want her to know somebody's thinking about her.
You are a
So that
blessing.
I don't take any credit for that. That's all God. And she's really honestly a blessing to me because seeing that she's actually listening to somebody that's been through it, I'm hoping that in some way it does help her along the way. But I just want to encourage her to keep going and keep fighting. And she's been in a shelter now for 16 days and she's still got the biggest smile on her face. So it melts my heart. I just want to see her succeed. And that little boy that she's got is just, I have a big heart and I'm willing to share it with the world.
Yeah. You doing it, girl.
I'm trying.
You doing it. Bella, thank you so much for this opportunity to have this conversation with you, to open up, to be transparent so that we can help other people just get a better understanding of what that world is like if they've never been in it. And especially the ones who are in there now. Like, y'all, it's not beautiful in it, and it ain't beautiful when you first get out of it, but there's beauty on the other side in the journey of reconnecting with who God created you to be so that you could live the life God created you to live, because this is not what it is. That's not what God had for you. I don't care what kind of religious background you have. I don't care if you did get married. There's a verse that says, what God has joined together, let no man tear apart. And they use that in when you get married a lot. And people think that just because y'all got married, God put y'all together, and God didn't do it. God didn't put all these marriages together. God never wanted that for you. So I just wanted to end with that and let you know that if you're in there now, there is a way out. Have a plan. Trust somebody that you truly trust, and only that person. And then just go, and then be willing
Gotta
to
do
take
it.
the journey of the hard on the other side. If you're willing to endure the hard on the inside, my encouragement and hope for you is that you will be courageous enough to endure the hard on the other side, because it's not going to last always, and your life is so much better. once you're out and you get to rediscover who you are and be the freedom to be yourself is just,
It's empowering. It
oh,
really is. And I think it was a motivation for me just to find me again. It was just, I found a whole new version of me.
mm-hmm. Like, who is this woman? Okay, girl,
Who
I
is this girl?
see
Where'd she come from?
you. Yes,
But yeah, you have to put in the hard work. You do. Um, you have to go through therapy and admit your shortcomings too. And Lord knows I've got plenty.
we
So,
all,
but you know what? I'm proud of all of us for getting out the way we did and trying to help others to do the same thing because we see there's a problem.
exactly. And it's worth
Like
it. Hard
we're
work.
weak apart, but together we're strong.
Amen. Come on, talk that talk now. Don't start church up here.
I start some church.
Bella,
I'm
thank you
telling
so
you right
much.
now, you're going to be a friend of mine for a very long time. I'm telling you.
Amen. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it, girl. I'm
I'm
here for
here
it.
for it.
Thank you. Thank you from the
Thank you.
bottom of my heart for this opportunity. Y'all know what it is. We are here to rise above our insecurities, release the burdens of shame and guilt, revive our God given power, purpose, and passion with confidence. Bella,
Bella, Ella,
we thank you so much, girl. And y'all, till next week. Pew, pew, pew,
thank you for
pew.
having
See you
me.
soon. Confetti, 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 confetti.